Now, with all the latest rumors having to circulate involving the inevitable return of the Dragon Ball Super anime and the upcoming Dragon Ball Super movie, many fans within the Dragon Ball community are seemingly begging the question as to if this is going to be the absolute point in time where finally Toei Animation, the Dragon Ball Room, Shueisha, Akira Toriyama, they're all going to finally come together on one stage, that having to be Jump Festa 2019, and finally give us the confirmed release date for the upcoming Dragon Ball Super anime, or even the potential movie going into 2020. And I believe that more so now than ever, this is the perfect time to do so. Now, we don't know for sure if they're definitely going to announce the Dragon Ball Super anime. For all we know, this could be the official announcement of the second Dragon Ball Super movie, which of course is going to take place assumingly after the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc involving Moro, or somewhere in between that, or maybe give us a confirmation of both in letting us know definitively when the anime and movie are set to debut going into 2020. Now, if anything, this is one of the absolute best times to actually give us a confirmational date as to when they plan on releasing the movie at some point within 2020 or maybe 2021, we don't know, or even giving us an official date as to when the anime is going to return, perhaps summer of 2020, fall of 2020, winter of 2020, we don't know. But I think, in my opinion, this is one of the absolute best times to bring everyone on stage, which includes Masako Nozawa, Ryu Horikawa, King Uyoku, and many people that are behind the development of what's going to happen with Dragon Ball Super, and finally getting together and letting us know what exactly is going to be going on. To which, once more, if of course you guys are new to this channel and have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball and anime related, then I do encourage you guys to smash that subscribe button on this channel, because we are going to be covering everything Dragon Ball Super related as soon as we have brand new announcements being made. So again, if you guys want to be up to date with everything related to Dragon Ball Super, then I do encourage you guys to smash that subscribe button. And if you guys are just as hyped as the rest of us for the return of Dragon Ball Super, then be sure to go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below. Now, what's also most interesting about this is the fact that these press events for Dragon Ball aren't just going to feature Dragon Ball Super, the anime at least, but we're also going to be getting Super Dragon Ball Heroes, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Dragon Ball Z Legends, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and all that good stuff, including promotional material and products for the overall brand. But I think the absolute most hyped topic among all of those having to be said is of course Dragon Ball Super, because right now the only big thing happening is the involvement with Moro and MERUS training Goku and everything currently happening in the manga, which hopefully enough we will see be animated in the form of an actual arc in Dragon Ball Super, which I will say, I think, in my own opinion, everything that we're seeing in the manga is going to somehow translate on over into the anime, because if you stop and think about it, why wouldn't Toei do that? Why wouldn't Shueisha, Toei Animation come together and adapt the events of what's going on in the manga now in the form of an anime, just like they have done with every other traditional shonen anime? Now, I really do also want to point out one thing, and that's the fact that with this upcoming press event, we could get anything from a date to an actual teaser. I really doubt we're going to get any form of a trailer, so if you guys are expecting to see a massive trailer of the sorts, I really don't think we're going to get that. I think that we might get titles, I think that we might get dates, and perhaps maybe a few screenshots, and that's about it. Because I don't honestly think that we're going to be getting some sort of a massive trailer. I don't think that we're going to be getting character breakdowns or analytical overviews of the villain coming up and stuff like that. I think that Toei, honestly, in my opinion, already has the layout packed down to where they have plans after the Moro arc, and they have plans for future Dragon Ball content, which is good for all of us because we all cover Dragon Ball in a very different and unique kind of way, because everyone has a different subjective opinion as to how they feel about the show. So I really do believe that Toei and Shueisha and the Dragon Ball Room and Toriyama and Toyotaro have all of these things already set up and in the works. It's just a matter of getting it to actually go now, and I think that Jump Festa this year is the perfect place for them to set that narrative up in introducing that for a later date in 2020. However, joining me here today to further discuss the concept of another Dragon Ball Super movie and the possible return of the Dragon Ball Super anime is my good friend and Dragon Ball YouTuber Emish is Live. Now Emish, me and you spoke about this off camera. I wanted to get your thoughts on how you personally feel about these announcements, and if you think that this is the absolute best time for them to announce the possible anime if they want to do that first, or the movie, or both, or maybe one over the other. In your opinion, how do you personally feel about this, and do you think that, in your own opinion, we are personally going to be getting the announcement of the anime for an upcoming date in 2020?
I think it does make sense if they take that route where they released Battle of Gods first, then we had ROF, and then we had the anime. If they're here to announce a movie, I don't think they would announce an anime. I think you would just have to expect it at that point. I don't think they would have to even mention an anime, because I think the fandom would just say, okay, it's almost all but confirmation. It's all but confirmed officially by sources that we're gonna get an anime. I doubt that they would release 2 movies back to back, you know, almost like one year after the other, and then not release an anime afterwards. So then you could also take it literally, the fact that the panel is a Dragon Ball Super anime panel, you know, and obviously the movie is an anime, so it just really depends on how literally you want to take it. I think it's likely they'll announce the movie, right? Another movie, maybe a concept for it. It's surprising really though, because it would be like literally just a year later, you know, we're getting information about another movie. But I personally would like some kind of confirmation for an anime specifically. I think that after the release of Dragon Ball Super Broly, I think they've already gotten fans hype enough to look forward towards an anime. I don't know. I mean, it's up for debate whether or not it's smart to announce an anime. I think considering how much stuff was obviously left out of the Broly movie, you know, it's not like they have to release another movie, because now when you release another movie, it has to be just as good, if not better, than the Broly. You know what I mean? But so there are expectations and there's standards to be met because of it. If you release an anime, or if you announce an anime, what happens is, you know, we're expecting the Broly stuff, and we're expecting the stuff that was cut out from the movie, and we know it's going to be good, right? So the expectations are consistent, and you know, you don't really send the fandom into a frenzy. Another issue here is that they're not really aware as to just how much people love Dragon Ball, I think, overseas, like here in the States, right? I think obviously they love it in Japan, but I think they're kind of, because like when we met Ryo Horikawa, for example, and his manager Junji, you know, a lot of the stuff that they were talking about was, yo, we didn't know that you guys love Dragon Ball. Like when they came to Kamehacon, you know, it's an unofficial Dragon Ball event, but even then, that really resonated with fans. And Ryo himself said it, and his manager said, like, yo, we had no idea, you know, Dragon Ball was this crazy over here, and we like what we see, and we're gonna try to bring more people over, you know. But then all this, you know, there's a lot of drama and stuff like that going on. That's, you know, it's a separate topic, but you know, it still stands that Dragon Ball is just insanely popular over here. I think it would be smart to just announce an anime, because at that point you're pretty much safe. You know, you don't really have to address something that's either better, if not just as good as the Broly movie, because I think there's still a lot of things that need to be told, you know, for the Broly movie. So to just jump to the next story without us really knowing what happened in between the making of the Broly movie, in between, you know, with Bardock and his crew, the actual rebellion, because you see his crew there when he's facing off against Frieza, when he tries to push back against Frieza, things like that, you know. Some more backstory with Vegeta and his father, things like that. So obviously, you know, there was a bigger script for the movie planned, but they cut down the movie. So I'd like to see that, and then, you know, they could just do the series, and then we have the Moro arc in the manga as well. So they have plenty of content, unless they wanted to make the Moro arc an actual movie instead, and then come back with the anime, and then they give us the Broly stuff with the stuff that we missed, and then right after that is the Moro arc. I'm for that too. But I think, all things considered, I think it's about time they announced the anime. I don't think it's going to be for a movie. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, but I think we're pretty much, the stage is set for an anime, and not so much for a movie, because this year going into 2020 is the year of animes. You know, forget the movie. The movie has resonated with so many people as it is. So I don't think they need to go overboard and overkill as far as, you know, movie production is concerned.
Now, there are a lot of questions being asked about these announcements, if they're only going to announce the movie, if they're going to announce the anime, or maybe delay the anime for a later time for the movie to get some shine. In your opinion, how do you feel about the idea of them coming out and saying that perhaps maybe the Dragon Ball Super anime is going to be pushed back until after this next movie is, you know, put out there for the people to see? I really do feel like if they come out with another Dragon Ball Super movie, which I think is the case, then I think they really want to give this movie some promotion, you know, like allow the movie to just sit and marinate its way through. Because I mean, look at Dragon Ball Super Broly, right? Dragon Ball Super Broly, made an astronomical amount of money just because it was allowed to sit there and grow, into the audience. I mean, even though Dragon Ball wasn't going, if they gave this new movie some time to grow and for them to make a lot of money, I can ultimately see them bringing back the anime then, and then we have a lot of material coming in because you have multiple different movies and multiple different arcs, and then you have so much more to go off of. So, do you see it to where they could possibly delay the anime? Do you see the anime coming out simultaneously? Do you see the anime coming out first and then the movie? Like, how do you feel about the overall narrative of one coming out before the other and then the other having to be delayed just to give the other some time to grow?
If they announce both, if they give us, confirmation of a movie, and then they say, oh, by the way, the anime is coming back, TB, at an undetermined time, then yeah, in a perfect world, that would be the best announcement you could ask for a Dragon Ball event, at least, right? I just don't think they would do that for some reason. I mean, we thought we were getting an announcement, and it just seems like a lot of stuff, they just changed their minds on a lot of things because they were either working on other things, and they knew that after the Broly movie that, hey, we kind of have to deliver something just as good, if not better, right? You have to at this point. It's a responsibility, it's an obligation put forth on you at this point because that's how good the movie was. Right? So, yeah, in a perfect world, I would say, yeah, for them to talk about both, yes, of course, but I just don't see that being the case, only because they're not really good with dates, So, and they're not really good with even confirming things, even though we know it's coming. And that's it. It's gotten to that point where it's become almost annoying to continuously talk about this and say, guys, it's coming. Here I am, some YouTuber, and it's coming. I just don't know when, and apparently neither do they. So I think that's the issue now, and I just don't think that they would have to commit towards even giving us both announcements, if anything. I think if they were to announce a movie itself, that's hype enough, and I think if they were to announce the anime itself, that's hype in and of itself. Like I said, I don't think they're gonna go overboard, and I don't think they're gonna go crazy with announcing two things at once. But the head of Shueisha, the head of the Dragon Ball room, is going to be there, so immediately that's big. And I think the following day, Ryo Horikawa is also scheduled to be there as well, because they're having two panels. So one, I believe the first one is on the 21st, and then they're having another panel on the 22nd with Ryo present. I don't know if he's going to be there for both because his name is not mentioned on both schedules. It's mentioned for the second day, so we'll see. But in a perfect world, yeah, I would love to see both announcements. That would be amazing.
What about going forward? Do you see them actually taking breaks? Do you see them actually kind of splitting this off and allowing one to supersede the other? Because I genuinely feel that when the anime does come back, whenever that may be, I really strongly hope that they have a really solid team behind production, behind the animation and the artwork and the storyboarding and all of that, because I've often been the one to say that I love Sumitomo's work, so the music isn't really an issue, but I really do hope that they have a solid team to produce a very good anime, because we've seen so many other animes come and go that had really good production behind it, and whatever movie this ends up being, it could be a total remake of an older Dragon Ball Z movie, it could be something brand new, or it could be the Moro arc having to be adapted in the form of an actual movie itself. But what I want to know is, do you see them taking breaks? Do you see them doing something of the sorts to where they separate and they give one more time over the other? Like, what are your overall thoughts on looking at this from an objective point of view and saying, okay, this is the right thing to do and this is the wrong thing to do, when of course going about announcing a brand new movie or anime to come?
No, I think given under the circumstances that they've had a lot of time as far as pre-production for a specific anime is concerned, I don't think it would be wise to just take a break in between or something. They didn't do that with Super. I mean, they kind of rushed the anime for Super, and it was a disaster after that. Like, it wasn't, I mean, Super wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either, but they're not making those same mistakes, obviously, this time around. If they're gonna announce the movie and then they kick off with an anime first, and then they give us anime, the Broly arc and all this other stuff, and then they take a break to do the movie, I think that's too much for them. Unless they have a bomb squad in that room, in the Dragon Ball room. If the Dragon Ball room has a bomb squad where they're so far ahead of production for the anime that they could afford to take a break and just drop a movie on you, and then follow through the movie back into the anime with whatever happened in that new movie or something like that. That would be interesting. But Dragon Ball, I don't think, okay, so here's the thing. The only way that would work is if Dragon Ball has the same hype that Demon Slayer has. So I don't know if you've watched, I don't think you followed it, but to people who have, in the comment section, to you guys listening to this conversation, you know, Demon Slayer, it was amazing. Like, hype, anime of the year, right? For sure. And they finished this season off with the announcement of a movie. So the following arc is it's in a movie format. So they're going to the next arc, the train arc, in the format of a movie, and that's exciting and that's hype, you know. So unless Dragon Ball can do that, and I don't think it's going to do that, and it's not. I'm not saying, you know, Demon Slayer is better than Dragon Ball or anything like that. I'm just saying, you know, it works for Demon Slayer, but I don't think it would work for Dragon Ball, only because Dragon Ball Super, at least, forget Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Super has had a bad reputation based on what we've seen so far. And the movie is somewhat evidence. There's some evidence in the movie as well, is that they kind of tell you a story, but they don't tell you enough of it. They give you something, they give you half of the cookie. They don't give you the whole cookie. They give you a slice of cake. They don't give you the whole cake instead, you know? So they don't give you enough of what you need to know, of what you need to see. And to compensate for that, they made this movie arguably the most aesthetically pleasing movie of the year, right? So that kind of compensates for it. Seeing Gogeta again, seeing Broly, seeing Bardock, literally seeing an entire cast of history as far as Dragon Ball is concerned into the most aesthetically pleasing movie of the year. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's gonna sell tickets and you're gonna be happy with it as a product. But when you're talking about an anime, and then to take a break from that anime to just jump into a movie again and then go back into the anime, it leaves potential for a lot of gaps in between. And I don't think that's going to be something that they would do, but I wouldn't put it past them. So, you know, it really depends. I mean, if the Broly movie is any indication as to what we can expect, it's like I said earlier, if they're going to announce a movie, it has to be just as good, if not better, than the Broly movie. And if they're going to announce an anime, we kind of need to start it off with the Broly arc, and we got to see all that goodness from the Broly movie, and, you know, an anime format with the addition of some of the stuff in between. You know, I think that'll really get people going. And by then, the Moro arc is going to be way past done. We'll be done with the Moro arc anyway. You know, I don't see this Moro arc going for that much longer. So as far as that arc is concerned, you know, it'll be done. I'm pretty sure it'll be done. There's not much going on in the Moro arc right now as it is. You know, now the focus is on MERUS all of a sudden, and him being an angel and all this other stuff. And now you kind of ask yourself, well, why doesn't he just one-shot Moro if that's the case? You know what I mean? So, but he's an angel, maybe he can't get directly involved, and that's why instead of killing him, he just chooses to seal him away. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. But yeah, man, that's just how I feel about that. We'll see.
I'm definitely hyped. I'm definitely excited. And if you guys are as well, then I do encourage you guys to slap a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel, because once Dragon Ball Super the anime comes back, we're going to go back to weekly breakdowns and reviews. And more importantly, outside of you guys subscribing, I really do encourage you guys to turn on all notifications by clicking on the little bell icon or the little gearbox on this channel and enable all notifications. That way you guys never miss a single upload. But I want to know from all of you, do you guys think we're going to be getting a movie? Is it going to be the anime over the movie? Is it going to be both? Because wouldn't that be a giant Christmas gift to everybody, right? So I personally think that it's only going to be the movie information being put out first, and I think what comes after that is they're going to announce the anime, but they're not going to give us anything more than a date. As an example, they might give us the new Dragon Ball Super movie, and they might call it, I don't know, as an example, Dragon Ball Super Cooler, or whatever the case may be, and they'll give us a date for that, and then they'll announce the anime, and then possibly just say, Dragon Ball Super Anime 2020, Winter 2020, Summer 2020, Spring 2020, who knows, but I think that they're not going to give us anything more than a date, which I'll be happy for, but again, I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, thank you all so much for listening. Tune back in for the next video. You guys can go ahead and also follow Emish on Twitter. He will be going back to doing videos again on his channel hopefully soon, so make sure you guys follow him on Twitter and his channel. Links will be located down below. Tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys. Peace!
This is the Galactic Emperor of the Universe, and of course I'm here to tell you to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming.
Also follow UnrealEntGaming on these social media platforms to stay connected at all times. And if you don't, then very soon you will all be dead! Oh, did someone say UnrealEntGaming? Oh my god.
The fuck, Zarbon? Put on some clothes!
Well, why don't you put on any clothes?
What? I don't need clothes, but Jesus Christ, that's huge! What, Broly?
Freezer.
Uh-oh.
Prepare to die!
But once you get video, lots of likes, or Bill will turn you into chocolate!
Vados, get over here! Tell these mortals that I'm the biggest UnrealEntGaming fan. This is my moment. I'm a part of his notification squad. Universe 7 can have all the fun. I just want the food.
And don't forget to leave a comment on this video. Show some love for the best community on YouTube.
Kakarota!